You know what's on the line. We're playing for our destiny. It's ours to win. It's our time now.
On a great day on the Great Lakes, the defending AFC champion Oakland Raiders take on the Cleveland Browns. Our kickoff is next from Cleveland Browns Stadium. And with Randy Cross, this is Kevin Harlan. We've got clear skies and low 60s. The temperature, the humidity at 75%, and there is a bit of a breeze. The Raiders lead this all-time series when they played in Los Angeles and in Oakland, and you can see it was the LA Raiders here in Cleveland back in 1985. It's been a long time since they've had a Raider team here in Ohio. Sebastian Janikowski will kick it off, and he's one of the strongest legs in the NFL. And deep back, Andre Davis, number 87.
And Tim Couch gets the ball right away to see if he can win these fans over in Cleveland.
So this is Davis at about the 10-yard line for the Browns. And flags all over the field. Justin Fargas brings them down. 22-yard return. They had flag problems on special teams last week. The Raiders did. Let's see if it continues today in Cleveland.
You think they all saw the same thing?
Yeah.
Number 51 of the receiving team doing the return. First down.
That penalty is on Sean Thompson, who is a rookie for the Cleveland Browns. Fargas made the tackle. Tim Couch has had the best two-game stretch of his career last week, including the performance against the Steelers, 20 of 25, a couple touchdowns. The offensive line played so well last week that each received a game ball. Ryan Tucker, the leader there. And William Green got 115 yards last week on the ground against that good Pittsburgh defense. But the Browns offense, number 31 in the NFL coming into today.
You'd have a hard time convincing the Pittsburgh Steelers of that after the performance Couch and them put on them at Pittsburgh on Sunday night. They strummed them.
14-yard line, first down and 10. Green in the backfield for Couch. And play action for Couch to start things with great time outside to Green, and incomplete through and back of him, uncatchable. Coverage by linebacker Barton, second down and 10. The Raider defense, number 30. Run defense is an issue, as is the injury situation. The Raider defensive line is in trouble. Rod Coleman starting for the injured John Perrella. The linebacking core still without Bill Romanowski, and Travion Smith continues to take his place. And a pretty healthy secondary featuring Charles Woodson, who had 2 picks last week in Chicago. Second down and 10. 14-yard line. It's Green, and brought down from behind by linebacker Travion Smith. It's a gain of 2, just past the 15-yard line. It'll be third down and 8.
Kevin, in that game that Cleveland played on Sunday night, William Green had 31 carries. Ended up with 115 yards, but you saw the first play, how hard Oakland bid on that play-action fake. That's the value of a successful running game, is a defense is going to commit up, and you're going to have play-action passes. Couch missed the receiver, but the play was there.
5 in the secondary, third, long 8, 16-yard line. Jamel White in the game, blitzes on from Brayton outside to White, chased by Smith. Out of bounds he goes and picks up a first down to the Cleveland 29. It's a gain of 13 on 3rd and 8, and forced out of bounds on the play by the Raiders.
Watch Brayton coming from the outside. It's easy to get a nice shot on the quarterback when nobody touches you. And a good job of execution by Tim Couch. Knows it's coming, holds that ball till the very last second, and you saw the value there of a very, very strong right arm of Tim Couch being able to just flip the ball that far.
Raiders will stick in the nickel defense. 29-yard line, first down and 10. William Green got a block from Fane, and collapse and fumble on the play, picked up by Dorsett. And it's a fumble and the Browns cough it up, and Oakland gets the first big play of the game on the turnover. William Green, 3 fumbles coming in, a 4th fumble in the season this year, the most among running backs in the NFL.
Last week, the linebackers in the pursuit was going too hard, either onside or backside. Watch, pursuit backside, perfect position, and while you're there, you get in and you strip the ball. There's something this Raylor defense has not had against the run the last 3 weeks. They have been gashed severely by the run, and they get an early turnover for some momentum for this offense that loves to take advantage of field position.
Justin Fargas and Gardner in the backfield. 24-yard line, 1st and 10. Hand off to Charlie Garner. There's a block from Jolly. Chased outside. Flag is down. Anthony Henry along with Andre Davis make him go out of play for the Cleveland Browns. On defense, you think you see a hold?
Oh, that's a hold. Anytime you see a flag coming in there from the side judge like that, and Johnny Greer gives you the signal. And Bill Callahan, being a former offensive line coach, knows.
Holding, 88, offense, still 1st down.
See, that side judge just stands there, and Bill Callahan, like I said, was an O-line coach. He talks to a tight end. He knows right here, see that left hand, left arm right there on the left shoulder of Taylor. That's all that side judge has to look at. He's the only guy on that side for him to see.
Cleveland 34, 1st and 20 for the Raiders. We get a Cleveland fumble. Aldis Whitty, one of 3 Oakland receivers. Hand off to Charlie Garner, a block by Barrett Robbins, and tripped up on the play in the secondary by Anthony Henry and Dalen McCutcheon. It's a gain of 8. It'll be 2nd down. 37-year-old Rich Gannon, the reigning MVP of the NFL, opens his 69th consecutive game. The offensive line, Langston Walker replacing the injured Lincoln Kennedy, and Brad Badger takes over for the injured Mo Collins. You'll see 2 tight ends, 2 receivers, and a back today, led by all-time receiver Jerry Rice, who turns 41 tomorrow. It is the 24th rated offense coming into today in the National Football League. 2nd down and 12 from the 25. It's a pitch out to Brown, end around to Whitted, a block by Gannon, and there goes the fleet-footed Aldis Whitted, who is brought down by Gerard Warren at the 16-yard line. It is a gain of 10. Now the defense, Courtney Brown coming off one of the best games of his career with 2 sacks last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. In his first year as a starter middle linebacker, Andre Davis leads the Brown in tackles, and in last week's Browns win, the secondary allowed very little. Dalen McCutcheon, in fact, got an interception, returned it 75 yards for a touchdown.
Last year, Kevin, this offense always converted when they got the ball in the plus territory. This year, it's been field goals.
3rd down and 2, 16-yard line. Brown, Garner gets the reception from Gannon. He'll be close to a 1st down, near the 14-yard line. They do give him the 1st down on the play. So Charlie Garner, a guy they want to utilize more, picks it up through the air from Rich Gannon.
Yeah, that point I was just making, Kevin, is when you get an offense like this and you get Rich Gannon on a roll with guys like Charlie Garner and Jerry Rice and last year Jerry Porter, you gave them the ball in your territory. Most of the time they put 6 points on the board. They scored a touchdown. This year you want a big ill. Instead of touchdowns, they get field goals.
1st and 10, nickel defense. Hand off to Garner, who is down near the 10-yard line and stopped by Andre Davis. And on that defensive line, they also had Ward and Taylor making the stop on a gain of 3.
You know, Butch Davis knows, too, that he's got an offensive line that's banged up. Remember, we talked about the fact that Brad Badger's in there at right guard and Langston Walker's in there at right tackle. So look for a lot more games and stunts on that side, trying to take advantage of the new guys.
2nd and 7, Cleveland's 11. A Brown fumble, and the Raiders got it. They got Fargas in the backfield. He gets the pitch, a block from Langston Walker, and a tackle made by Orpheus Roy at about the 10. Gain of a yard.
You know, when you get these bunch formations, and here's the bunch over here, it's over on this side, I always think in my mind, why not have the bunch out further? Because if you get a bunch formation with 2 tight ends and a wide receiver, all you're doing is bringing more tacklers into the exact same area that you just tried to run into.
3rd down 6 at the Cleveland 10. Browns in their base defense at 43.
Teo Johnson's in the left slot, the tight end.
Garner in the backfield. Here goes Gannon. The pump, he's getting away from Courtney Brown and fires into the end zone, caught by Johnson. You called it. Teo Johnson with his first NFL touchdown reception and a 10-yard strike.
Yeah, the young man out of Stanford is an exciting moment for him, and Bill Callahan told us yesterday, hey, look, we've got to do some different things. We have to use some different packages, and one of the different packages we're going to use is going to feature the young tight end out of Stanford, Teo Johnson. Big, former quarterback, played wide receiver at Stanford.
Former basketball player at Stanford as well.
I asked him about blocking. He goes, that's just kind of like being a power forward.
Janikowski's extra point gives the Raiders a 7-0 lead, and they cash in on the Cleveland Brown fumble by running back William Green. Randy just called it. There he is with his third NFL reception, his first touchdown. Teo Johnson, who is a rookie from Stanford, just caught his first NFL touchdown pass on the third NFL reception. Now, there is another story on the extra point. Guard Frank Middleton was injured. He is now just getting up, and they got the card on the field. This is not good news. We told you Mo Collins is out with the knee. Lincoln Kennedy is out with a calf, missing his third consecutive game. Middleton is now gone. Barry Sims is the starting left tackle. Barrett Robbins continues at the center. So changes almost now per play and per series on that offensive line for the Oakland Raiders.
Remember, I talked about rhythm and execution for the Raiders offense. They had a little bit of it here early, got it in the plus territory and scored, but continuity, because you're losing players, is a gigantic deal. And now you see Stitchcomb there, 74, talking to Sims. He started the season at center.
Right.
You know, Barrett Robbins, everybody knows his Super Bowl story from earlier this year. Well, he wasn't even the starter. The starter was Stitchcomb, then it was True, then it was Robbins. They've had nothing but change in their offensive line.
So when you talk about all these injuries, you know why maybe the Raiders are struggling to begin this season. One of many reasons, but that's a big one.
I tell you, we're going to take a look in a while at what the playoff teams from last year did. Last year, or those teams from the playoffs, what they're doing this year. A lot of it's injuries, a lot of it's starting slow. Everything you can think of is an excuse, though, for the Raiders. Once the regular season starts, it really doesn't matter you had injuries.
Here's the ensuing kickoff by Sebastian Janikowski. A yard deep. Andre Davis, who had a 69-yard return last week, and he was brought down here by Ronald Curry, a reserve wide receiver. A 30-yard return. Raiders on a touchdown pass by Rich Gannon on top of the Browns. The landscape of this downtown has changed over the last couple of years. Brand new Cleveland Brown Stadium, Gunda Arena, home of the Cavaliers, and LeBron James, the Jacobs Field, home of the Cleveland Indians. First down and 10, handoff to William Green, who fumbled the first time on that series by Cleveland. A gain of 2 right there, wrapped up by the interior line. Eric Barton. Now it's 2nd down and 8.
There's Teo Johnson. Watch him. He wants to go in this area. When Gannon scrambles this way, watch Teo Johnson adjust into the back of the end zone. See the adjustment? Little push off. Told you he was a power forward. Those good power forwards know how to push off, don't they, Kevin?
They do. They always do.
Look at this little tribute to the dog pound, I think.
5 in the secondary. 2nd down, 8. Ball at the 32-yard line of the Browns for Tim Couch. Fake to Green outside Quincy Morgan. Smelled out beautifully on the play by Philip Buchanan. Back to the 26-yard line, a loss of 6.
Yeah, in talking to Bill Callahan yesterday, I said, Bill, eventually a team with this much talent, injuries or not, is going to go off on somebody. And last week they got that lead against the Bears and then let down. The starts haven't been the problem for Bill Callahan's football team all the time. The problem in my mind is they haven't played 60 minutes of football. Against Denver a few weeks ago, they got blown out early, played decent late.
6 defensive backs, 3rd and 14. Cleveland at their 26. White in the backfield. Couch looking for his second option. That's White out of the backfield. Breaks a Buchanan tackle. Tripped up by Love. Hit by Woodson. Has a first down to the 42. Picks up 17 on 3rd down and 14.
When your defense struggles, when they have problems, you can always go back to fundamentals. What's the #1 fundamental? Blocking and tackling. That's 1 missed tackle. That's 2 missed tackles. That's 1 shoelace and a shove. There wasn't a tackle in there. Jamel White brings that kind of game to this offense. Not a power runner by any stretch of the imagination, but he can do it on third down.
Lawrence Grant is coming on the Raider defensive line, 43-yard line, 1st and 10. Tackle made by Napoleon Harris as William Green takes it to the 48-yard line and picks up 5 yards.
Let's take a look at that injury to Middleton, which will be a very key thing. There's Middleton there at the left guard position for the Raiders. Watch his right leg. It's being called a right leg injury. See the way it's bent back right here? Well, he's not done going over. And they'll let us know after the x-rays and everything else are done.
2nd and 5, Cleveland at their 48. There's some Kevin Johnson on the move. Couch, good block by Tucker, but the pass, although caught, is snuffed out. Napoleon Harris just devours William Green. And they'll be back to the 45, losing 2 on the play. Harris with a couple of plays in a row.
Now this is good team defense. Remember I talked about blocking and tackling? Watch them now. Now you're going to see receivers come down here and be covered. Come here and be covered. Come here and be covered. Watch the guys go downfield. And there's a Raider jersey with every one of these people. Where does he go with it? He's got nowhere to go but short. That's good zone defense.
6 in the secondary, 3rd and 7. Cleveland's 46. Grant move, no yellow. And Couch almost knocked away and intercepted by Cooper on the defensive line for the Oakland Raiders. And the Cleveland Browns have got a punt.
Now that's a little something different. You know, Butch Davis's offense just saw a zone blitz out of Chuck Bresnahan and the Oakland Raiders. Cooper lined up at defensive tackle, dropped back into that zone, and Couch never even saw him. If Cooper had hands, they weren't all taped up with gloves on him, you might be able to catch that one.
Chris Gardocki to punt back inside the 35-yard line. Philip Buchanan is back inside the 20 for the Raiders. They let it bounce into the end zone. 54-yard rocket. Raiders losing in Chicago last week. Browns won in Pittsburgh. Timeout.
League with his football guru. I'm at 1-4. I have a very Tennessee Titans 2002 start.
After a Cleveland punt, 1st and 10. It's a handoff to Garner, who is grabbed by Andre Davis. It's a gain of a yard. It's 2nd down and 9.
You know, Kevin, we talked about this earlier. Look at the playoff teams from last year. I mean, the Colts, obviously, after that Monday night thing, everybody thinks now they walk on water. But everybody else as a group is pretty much struggling. You know, they're Oakland, Cleveland, Pittsburgh. Remember, like I said, Tennessee played Oakland in the playoff in the championship game last year. They started 1-4.
Stinchcomb is now playing the left guard in place of the injured Middleton. 2nd and 9. Charlie Garner corkscrews his way into the grasp of Ben Taylor on a gain of 2 up to the Oakland 23-yard line. There's Stinchcomb is in, who has started at center. He's also played some left tackle in his career. Rich Gannon has thrown a touchdown pass, even with all those injuries up front.
Well, look at Mo Collins, Lincoln Kennedy. Now you add Middleton to that mix on the offensive side. So you got 4 offensive starters out, 2 defensive starters out, and a whole bunch of other guys limping.
Base defense for the Browns. 3rd down and 7 from the Oakland 23. Garner in the backfield. Aldis Woodard, one of 3 Oakland receivers.
Audible.
Rich Gannon changing the play. A block by Line. That ball was knocked from behind by Mark Word, who came through and knocked it away. And for the first time today, the Oakland Raiders have got a punt. Good pressure on Gannon.
There's Word right here. Look at who he's going against. Doug Jolly, the tight end. Late start. He started so late he couldn't even hold him. That's when you know you're off to a late start. But you can't even get enough momentum to grab the guy.
Adam True is the snapper. And Shane Lechler, the #1 punter in the NFL, boots it to Northcutt.
That's a return ball.
And about the 24, Dennis Northcutt. Couple blocks. Chased by Tim Johnson. There's a clip. No yellow. And Northcutt is after the 43-yard line. It is a 19-yard return. There goes a flag, but the flag is not where the blocking was in the return, but rather back at the 49-yard line.
It's going to be a hold against the Cleveland Browns, but it was back there. There were 2 clips on that play.
Wow.
2 clips, three offenses, 1 penalty.
Holding.
You do the math.
Number 59 of the receiving team during the kick will penalize from the spot of the catch
Cleveland fumbled, and the Raiders a couple plays later got a touchdown pass, Gannon to Johnson. Raiders just punted for the first time today, as you see some of their faithful here watching in Cleveland Browns Stadium.
That's not carry-on luggage.
No. That'd be checked and x-rayed many times. It is first down and 10. Stubblefield on that defensive line, along with Akbar, Baha, Biamila, and Cooper and Armstrong. First and 10 for Couch, and goes across, and it's caught by Kevin Johnson. He's grabbed by Terrence Shaw. 23-yard line, gain of 8. Great night of television. CBS Monday begins with Yes Dear and Still Standing. Then Everybody Loves Raymond Watch Network. Second down and 2. 23-yard line of the Browns. Green, who is fumbled. There goes a flag. Charles Woodson makes the tackle on Green at the 35. Good for a first down, gain of 12. But let's see what the flag is all about.
That's offsides on the Raiders.
Offside. Defensive right end. It's declined. First down.
You're on top of these penalties today. Busy day in the NFL. Let's send you off to our studios in New York. Well, that's Brett Favre, and he turned 34 on Friday, so he begins it in style. It's a first down here for the Cleveland Browns, as Green is trying to reverse field and finally gets a couple yards on the play, brought down by Napoleon Harris. It's a gain of about 2.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that about Brett Favre turning 34. And you already said Jerry Rice turns 41 tomorrow. And Brett Favre's been talking about retiring for 2 years, and Jerry doesn't even bring it into an equation. Brett's got a good strong 8 years in his legs, according to Jerry Rice's clock.
Second down 8, 37-yard line. Backfield is empty. 36-yard line. Here comes Barton. They pick it up well. Dumps it off. Caught by Northcutt, who tumbles ahead. Has a first down near midfield. He picks up 13 yards to Jim Nantz in New York.
All right, Kevin, thank you. The Jags and the Dolphins, and watch Ricky Williams, but even better, check out Jay Fiedler. Williams going around the left side, spins back, we're going the other way, and watch the final block here by number 9. Ricky Williams, 14 yards, he's in, 7-0, back to you.
He's the only guy in the NFL that scored a touchdown in every game this season. Of course, Jay Fiedler used to play for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The quarterbacks aren't empty chairs, Jim. They're not kickers. They're allowed to block.
Couch, and that's caught. A grab made by Kevin Johnson. Tackle on the play made by Eric Barton. 42-yard line of the Raiders, and he picks up 9.
I tell you, folks, you know, Tim Couch is off to a very, very nice start. But if I'm Bruce Arians, the offensive coordinator, and Butch Davis, his head coach, I better start blocking some people. They've had 2 instances where defensive ends have been absolutely clean that have just smacked the heck out of him, and nobody's touched him.
There's Green on second down and about a yard. Picks up 3. And that is a first down, hit by the interior of that line, which includes Barton and Smith from the linebacking core.
Yeah, and Bruce Arians, the offensive coordinator there. You can see the one side here is not that charted and colored. The other side, you know, everything's laminated and it looks. What happens if you get really excited and you forget which color's which? Now, was it pink short yardage or blue short yardage?
Or if you're colorblind, you're in trouble. Huh? 7th play of the drive, first and 10, 38-yard line. Good time by Couch. Good block by Stokes. And almost intercepted off the fingertips of Kevin Johnson, and just about picked off on the play by Shaw. Second down.
Well, I'll tell you what, right there in that last play, Kevin Johnson is wide open. And I'm talking about capital W-I-D-E. Right in between the zone, right in the middle, but you know, down the field, even in a better position than he was Dennis Northcutt, number 86, was down the field. Nobody around him.
6 in the secondary, 2nd and 10, Oakland 38-yard line for the Browns. White's in the backfield, and like maybe Cooper jumped, or was he induced?
Yeah, how about he was induced by Tim Couch's voice.
4 flags on the field.
Well, 2 against Cleveland, 2 against Oakland, because guys on both teams jumped.
Prior to the snap, neutral zone infraction on the defense. Number 93.
Trace Armstrong, the 38-year-old defensive end.
That's, you know, a long time ago, they decided that defensive linemen can't flinch. They can't false start. They can't make that quick move to try to get an offensive lineman to jump. But I really think Tim Couch has got more to do with Trace Armstrong and Coleman and everybody else inside jumping so much for Oakland. Right now, Tim Couch is in very good voice.
Base defense, 2nd down 5. William Green. Hit by all kinds of folks, including the aforementioned Armstrong, and a 2-yard gain to about the 32.
Well, one thing I like about what William Green is doing now is the first couple times he carried the ball, he tried to cut back. He tried to force the cutbacks, and those were killing the Raiders the last couple of weeks, giving up 200 and 222 yards rushing to some teams. Was the backside was wide open. He tried to force it. Right now, the last few runs, he has gone onside. You have to be patient. Backside develops. It just doesn't suddenly come.
5 in the secondary, 3rd and 3. Oakland's 31-yard line for the Browns. White, the running back, becomes the receiver. And Couch needs to get to the 29, and then is smothered by a host of them by Baja Biamila, along with Stubblefield. That's the end of the quarter. That's the end of the first quarter as Rich Gannon has thrown a touchdown pass after a Cleveland fumble. And the Oakland Raiders looking for their first road win. Lead 7-0. We'll return to Cleveland after this message. Quarter with the Cleveland Browns attempting a field goal, which is lucky for them. Had they not gotten this off before, they'd have kicked into the wind. Now they're kicking with the wind to begin the second quarter. A 52-yard try.
Just a chip shot.
His career long is 52. And he has got it. That ties a career long.
That was by a lot.
Thank goodness for the wind and the beginning of the second quarter and the change of direction. Well, they changed sides when you change quarters, and that got the wind at the back of Dawson, who equals his 52-yard career long with this 52-yarder right here.
Not by much he didn't.
No. But enough, as Butch Davis says.
That's almost 3/4 of the way up the goalposts.
Here's Dawson's, and ball fell off the tee. There is some breeze off of Lake Erie today. That ties the career long, as we told you. Rich Gannon has thrown a touchdown pass after a Cleveland fumble to Teo Johnson, the rookie tight end out of Stanford. And Dawson just put the Cleveland Browns on top.
Well, remember what I talked about earlier, Kevin, the rhythm and execution. The Raiders right now have 37 yards total offense. Sure, they took advantage of that one turnover by the Browns, but Rich Gannon and this offense have got to try to establish some rhythm and have some execution so they get some first downs, hold on to this ball for a while.
Ronnie Jenkins is deep back, the San Diego Charger in the pass, dropping it at the goal line. And on the fly, here he goes. Gets by Crocker, then is brought down by Lehan at about the 34-yard line, a 33-yard return. Ronnie Jenkins, who leaves the Chargers and joins the Raiders in the offseason. Tonight on CBS, a serial.
Now the Raiders still have these guys named Brown and Rice.
They do, yes.
Well, they're under camouflage pretty good so far.
Both quiet. 34-yard line. Rich Gannon sends Jolly in motion. Fake to Garner. And outside they go to Teo Johnson. He is the rookie who caught the touchdown pass earlier. He's up to the 43-yard line. It's a gain of 9 and shoved down on the play by Courtney Brown.
You have to love Teo Johnson's sort of youth and exuberance. We talked to him yesterday, and, you know, Teo, what do you do best? He says, well, I run with the ball best. After I catch the ball, I can do some special things. And you just imagine, folks, this guy was a wide receiver in college, and he has the ability to separate. So when we see these matchups with safeties and linebackers, the Raiders have a big edge using this new weapon.
43-yard line, 2nd down and 1. The pitch goes to Garner. Under the grasp of Andre Davis, and it's a gain of about a half-yard on the play and close to a first down. Raiders came into today trailing Kansas City in the AFC West by 3 games, and the Browns enter a half game in back of first place Baltimore.
There's the AFC North slowly but surely turning back into the AFC Central.
Yeah, a little bit. You're right.
You know, it's like
in terms of records.
If you can beat each other up, and there's the West with the Kansas City Chiefs up 5-0, but currently trailing Green Bay 14-0. You know, You look at the North, it's like a death match race to 8-8, 9-7.
Today Pittsburgh is out in Denver. They got it.
Yeah, Kansas City being down like that, I'm sure Bill Callahan and his staff would love to take advantage of them losing on a day like this to reel them in a little bit closer with their big matchup coming up.
You just think where Callahan has been, you know, wasn't well known, replacing the dynamic John Gruden, wins an AFC championship, goes to the Super Bowl. A lot has happened in the last year of his life. They do get the first down, 44-yard line. Ryan McKinley on that defensive line. There goes Warren jumping off. He's out there with Courtney Brown. That's the 4 on the defensive line for Cleveland.
False start. Number 70. Offense. Still first down.
Jim Nantz has got a Kansas City Green Bay update as we go to our studios in New York.
All right, thank you very much, Kev. Yes, this was a quick 14-0 Green Bay lead, but Trent Green comes right back, hit a couple of key passes to Johnny Morton, then Tony Gonzalez for the touchdown. 14-7 seconds to go first quarter. Back to you.
Kansas City, one of 4 undefeated teams in the NFL coming into today. Thank you, Jim. 1st and 15, hand off to Garner. Then he's grabbed by Warren, slithering up to the 43-yard line and picking up 4 yards.
And Middleton, the offensive guard, you saw was carried off the field earlier. The report from the Raiders, it was a right quad muscle. Those are the large muscles in the top of your thigh, so the right quad muscle, and he'll be out for the rest of the game. So Mr. Stitchcomb, working at right guard or left guard, can start getting comfortable because he'll be there the rest of the day.
Base defense 43 for the Cleveland Browns. 43-yard line, 2nd down 11 for Oakland. Good block by Walker outside. It's Garner who's tackled by Bentley, and he's up to the 48-yard line, picking up 5. Another update from our studios in New York and Jim Nantz.
All right, guys,
All right, Jim, Titans have won, Randy, 7 consecutive home games. 3rd down and 6. 5 in the secondary for the Browns. 47-yard line for Gannon. He's got Garner shy of the first down. Did not make it on the play. He was hit by Taylor, by McKinley. It's a gain of 4. And the Raiders have got a punt.
And if you're the Raiders and you're going for that rhythm and that execution, penalties. That was the difference on that possession. You had your offense working. Rich Gannon was hitting his receivers, but you can't handicap yourself. This has been an organization and a football team has prided itself on overcoming adversity, but so much of that adversity is self-inflicted.
Best in the business, Shane Leckler to boot it. Northcutt wants a fair catch, and that's what he'll take at the 11-yard line. 37-yard boot. Rich Gannon has thrown a touchdown pass to a rookie tight end. The Raiders on top. 1st down and 10 yards to go.
All part of this audible is some protection.
On the 11-yard line, William Green. Brought down from behind by linebacker Travion Smith. You know, we just saw Steve McNair throw that touchdown pass. I'm wondering if he ever thinks about, what if I had a chance to sit and watch in Cleveland like McNair watched with the Titans?
You mean instead of being here and getting beaten to death for two seasons and pummeled? And,
right.
You know, he was protected early in his career, kind of like they're protecting him today. You know, the people wide open and him trying to hold the ball at the expense of some completions.
2nd down long, 2. Green hit by Barton, flag thrown. Charles Woodson in there as well. You think he got a hold?
Oh, absolutely a hold. Johnny Greer saw that the whole way, right in front of God, country, and Johnny.
Johnny Greer is the senior referee in the National Football League, 22 years. Rich Gannon touchdown pass and a 52-yard field goal by Phil Dawson.
Holding. 89. Offense. Still 2nd down.
There's the upper right tight end, Mr. Sanders. Keep an eye on him. He had a holt of him and was riding him. In rodeo, he'd got about a 3-second ride for that one.
2nd down, 12. Ball's back at about the 9-yard line of the Browns. Extra defensive back is in for the Raiders. William Green hit by Barton, bounced outside, hit by Dorsett. That's a gain of about 3 yards on the play. What about the Cleveland quarterback situation, Randy? You know, 2 motivated quarterbacks. Is Butch Davis in an issue here, or is he in a good position?
I guess it's a good. He doesn't have a controversy. When you have 2 good quarterbacks, you have a controversy. When you have 2 quarterbacks still trying to prove yourself, you have an ongoing situation. If Tim Couch keeps playing well, he should clearly be the starter, and Holcomb should be the backup. No one's earned an absolute shot at this job.
6 defensive backs, 3rd and 9 from the 12. Couch. Here comes Stubblefield. There goes the pass. Incomplete. He was looking for Andre Davis. Flag is down. Davis was covered by the linebacker, Barton.
Yeah, and Barton was the one that, like I said earlier about the other technique, he had a hold of him, too. A little arm wrap around
Pass
the waist.
interference. Number 50, defense. First down.
You know, officials are smart about football. They know that unusual motions and sort of ungainly, like, turns and falls usually means somebody did something wrong. When you see a receiver suddenly just change his motion, watch the motion. Grab, and you see he just have to make a little grab. They'll call it when the guy's motion changes like that.
5 in the secondary, 1st and 10, 24-yard line. Couch with play action. And throws caught by Davis, grabbed by Rod Woodson, 42-yard line, gain of 17.
All right, now you're getting a little running game going. You got the offensive line and running backs have figured out now that, hey, if we give Tim Couch more than a second and a half and a good smack into the face to throw the ball, he's going to do some special stuff. And when you got a quarterback able to sit there and bounce and pat the ball, you have done your job as an offensive front or an offensive line as far as protection goes.
41 of the Browns, 1st and 10. Base defense for Oakland. Armstrong, Coleman. They got Drayton, the rookie, in there, and here's a handoff to Green. Tackle made by Armstrong. Somebody lost a hat, and that was Kukas on that offensive line. Gain of 5, and the ball is up to the 46. There's a Carcass as you see him. Gain of about 4 or 5 on the play. Monday on an all-new Late Show. Dave welcomes actress Halle Berry plus 5-time Tour de France champion Lance Armstrong. And the latest Survivor Castaway, Dave's all-new Monday right here on CBS. Raiders looking for their first road win. Cleveland looking for their first home win of the season. 2nd down, 5, 46 of the Browns. Couch gets away, dumps it across, flag is down. This is Quincy Morgan, belted by Derek Gibson at the Raider 46. Gain of 9 as it stands.
I think you talked about him earlier, Zukowskis working against Coleman. I think it was a bit of a takedown.
66, offense, still 2nd down.
See, football games have rhythms too, Kevin. And when a game like this keeps getting these constant penalties, and these infractions aren't minor. This isn't ticky-tack stuff by our NFL officials. These are infractions. It takes the rhythm out of the game. So how is an offense or a defense supposed to establish any kind of a rhythm when these penalties keep happening?
36-yard line, 2nd down, 15. 6 in the secondary for the Raider defense. Couch. Holding catch by Morgan, stopped by Shaw, and he's to the 46-yard line, picking up 10. Nice catch.
Well, also a pretty nice little fall-away dart by Tim Couch.
Yeah.
You know, Tim Couch held that ball an awful long time and was almost, you know, starting to fall down and flipped it. But watch what Morgan does here with the ball. He goes down to the blades, right down there to the grass, hugs it against him. Coleman trying to get in there, 57, but Couch held it to that very last second.
6 in the secondary, 46-yard line, 3rd down and 5. It's Couch. Hit by Coleman, flag thrown, intercepted by Philip Buchanan. Flag is down, and Buchanan finally brought down by offensive lineman Sean O'Hara at the Cleveland 38. It's a 25-yard return. Flag looks to be against the Raiders.
And Zukowskis, the guard, 66, is getting up very slowly, being helped by the trainers right now.
Offside. 99, defense. First down.
That is the much maligned DeLawrence Grant, who was inactive last week because he couldn't cover the corner, wasn't stopping the run.
And when you line up offsides, I mean, jumping's one thing, but lining up offsides is plain inexcusable. There's 99 right there. You know, the ball, there's Zukauskis working right up here. 66, the pile comes in and hits him in the back of the leg, and that's why that injury occurred. And I'll tell you, that last play also defensively by Buchanan was a nice job of poaching by a defensive back. And when you poach as a DB, you kind of sit in there and you wait until something happens, and you wait until that quarterback bites, and then you leap.
Chet Beasley is now on the line. 1st and 10, it was 3rd and 5, but a penalty. And down goes Couch, grabbed by Travion Smith. And that's the first sack of the season for Smith. A loss of 6 on the play, and it's back to the Cleveland 44.
Well, Tim Couch is pulling grass out of his ear hole. He's pulling grass out of his nose, out of his teeth. He finally held the ball too long.
You know, he has lost his last 4 starts in this stadium, and he has incurred the wrath of this crowd many times.
Yeah, I tell you, he could incur a few suing his team for lack of support early in his career and currently too.
2nd down 16, 7th play of the drive. Screen pass, Jamel White. He's knocked out by Stubblefield, and Asamoah, who is the rookie out of Cal. No gain on the play, and the ball marked at the 45 of the Browns.
How about that job by Dana Stubblefield on that play?
He could hardly walk yesterday when we talked to him.
He comes limping into our meeting. You know, the vet, and look at all the tape on that right ankle, and he's got stuff going on the left ankle, and, you know, former 49er, former Redskins, got a chance to come back to the Raiders, gives an excellent veteran-type leadership on that defensive line, and great example. He's as hurt as anybody out there, and maybe as hurt as a few guys that aren't playing, but he's still doing it.
5 defensive backs, including Eric Johnson, playing linebacker. 3rd and 16. There goes a flag, and Couch throws to Jamel White. Chased by Barton and brought down at the 45-yard line. Looks like maybe Trace Armstrong jumped. It was a gain of 10 as it stands right now.
Well, when you're living on the edge and lining up on the edge right on the ball, it doesn't take much of a flinch to put you off sides.
But that's where teams have been running so well and playing so well on this Oakland defense, is cutting the corner and out-racing them.
Yeah, it's been technique. It's been the little things. You know, are they playing poorly? No. But what they are doing is they're making the little mistakes and making mental mistakes.
Offside. 99, defense.
Well, I disagree.
4 penalties on the Oakland defensive unit already, and that would be the 2nd on the aforementioned DeLawrence Grant.
Here's Trace Armstrong right there. DeLawrence Grant isn't even in the ball game. Trace Armstrong jumped, working against Ryan Tucker. And again, Tim Couch gets his offense an easy 5 yards with his voice.
6 defensive backs, midfield, 3rd and 11 for Couch. White is in the game. Here comes the rookie Brayton. And that's tipped and almost picked off as they sent Coleman off the defensive line, back in coverage. And it is 4th down, and the Cleveland Browns have got to punt again.
Remember earlier, Cooper did the exact same thing. See right here, watch Coleman. He takes the quick drop. Now, if you're a quarterback and you're expecting certain things in zones, you'd think White's going to be wide open. Well, you don't count on that big old defensive lineman. He's not a threat to catch it, but he will paw it.
Gardocki to punt. He has had one blocked and over 930 boots.
This has got to be at about the 10-yard line or in.
And Buchanan will wave it off out of bounds at about the 16-yard line.
Well, it's still better than kicking it into the end zone and having to come back to the 20. We should see more of that kicking out of bounds.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame here in Cleveland. Randy Cross, Kevin Harlan. Injuries continue to hurt the Raider offensive line. Stinchcomb now is in for Middleton. Rice has only had 1 ball thrown his way, no catches so far. Gannon has thrown a touchdown pass, 1st and 10, 16-yard line, brought down by McKinley on the line. Was Charlie Gardner on a gain of 1. It'll be 2nd down. Friday on CBS, whether it's a drug ring or a bank robbery, the FBI's undercover team will take on any identity.
And Joey P go way back, I guess, huh?
Joey P, 17-yard line, second down.
Back in the neighborhood in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
He sounds like a Green Bay kind of guy.
It's Gannon outside to Gunn. Beat on him as Dalen McCutcheon belts him out of bounds about the 19-yard line. Gain of 3 on the play. Tell me, Randy, about Rich Gannon and what he must think now as he looks in front of him and sees only one starter in Barrett Robbins. Everybody else has been nicked, banged, out, whatever.
You know, Rich Gannon's the kind of guy, though, Kevin, you know, everything's an excuse. He doesn't want to hear excuses. He wants to know that the guys that go in are going to perform, and he's going to be able to execute. He assumes he will be able to do it no matter who's in there.
Nickel secondary, 20-yard line, third down and 6. Gannon fumbles the ball. It's loose and recovered by Grant Badger, one of those substitutes on the 19-yard line. And the Oakland Raiders, after getting a touchdown pass to Teo Johnson from Gannon on their first possession, will have to punt for a third consecutive time.
Now, this is plenty of time. There's nothing wrong with the protection here. What really happens here is you've got Courtney Brown getting a hand on Rich Gannon as he's escaping. That's really been a difference for this defense for Cleveland, as their front four has come alive this season.
That was Gannon's first fumble of the season, and Leckler's punt is not that good.
It's getting better.
It's taking a nice bounce and hit a blown player. It's loose and alive at the 33, and it could be the Raiders' ball. Crocker was trying to get out of the way, and it hit his thigh, but it is recovered and grabbed by the Cleveland Browns. 48-yard punt by Leckler.
Man, you want to talk about a knucklehead move? There is a definition of a knucklehead move. You stand around the ball, get away from the football.
Timeout. Teo Johnson, the rookie out of Stanford, caught his first touchdown pass earlier today from Rich Gannon. 7-3 is the score. The Cleveland Browns touched the ball inadvertently on the last punt. The Raiders have thrown the red challenge flag on the field, and they'd like that baby reviewed, thinking that perhaps they recovered. But that's the last play that happened.
When Johnny Greer's going to the sideline just to get his explanation as to what the red flag is for.
Bill Callahan over there. I'm not really sure because...
Well, there's Crocker, 25. The ball does hit Crocker inside.
It's a live ball. I thought the Raiders...
Ever so briefly, the Raiders had it, but the Raiders did not hold on to it.
Right.
Having it and holding on to it are two different things.
Oakland Raiders.
Despite possession and everything else, you still have the issue of whistles and whatnot being blown in these situations.
Jamel White's in the backfield, 5 in the secondary for the Oakland Raiders. Goes down in 10, 34-yard line for the Cleveland Browns, and White is smothered as he goes right with the grass from middle linebacker Eric Barton.
A little offsides on the Raiders defense again. We're spending as much time on the Cleveland side of the ball as the Cleveland offensive line.
Offside. Number 91, defense. Still first down.
That's the rookie out of Colorado, Tyler Brayton. Next Saturday on the Home Depot SEC on CBS, Chris Leak and the Florida game. Browns at their 38. Again, 5 remain in the secondary. Buchanan, Dorsett, Woodson and Terrence Shaw. It's almost picked off by Bart. He's been all over the place. It was a pass intended for Kevin Johnson. Incomplete, 43-yard line.
And that's the problem with passes that you have to wait for. You settle in a hole, you're waiting for the ball to get there. If you're Kevin Johnson, you can't go get it. And Barton has the advantage of being moving, and he has the ability to try to go get that ball before it gets to Kevin Johnson. Talk about a strong year. Eric Barton had a breakout season last year in 2002, but like everybody on this defense, has struggled so far this year.
38-yard line, second down, 5. White grabbed and brought down by Travian Smith. That'll take us to the 2-minute warning and no gain on the play. Raiders defense looks a bit different this week than it did last.
Yeah, they're tackling.
Yeah.
That makes an immediate big difference.
Rich Gannon has thrown a touchdown pass, and Dawson kicked a 52-yard field goal for the Browns. And CBS, one tribe's MVP is stolen by the other. Now will Rupert jump ship and help a team in trouble? Don't miss an all-new Survivor Thursday at 8, 7 Central on CBS.
Well, I tell you what, Rupert's the heavy-set fellow with the beard and the long hair there. But look at these two guys, Rice and Brown, all kinds of experience, all kinds of catches. One ball thrown to those two guys, no catches so far today.
6 in the secondary for the Raiders. 3rd and 5. Browns at their 38. White in the backfield offers a block for Couch. Right on the money is pass at the 50-yard line, caught by Northcutt. He's got a first down, a pickup of 12 on 3rd down and 5.
Now this is no reason. I'm really surprised they're in kind of a no huddle right here. You can do the no huddle, but don't hurry, don't rush, don't make a mistake.
Secondary remains with 6 members, and outside a pass by Couch on 1st and 10 is caught out of bounds. Kevin Johnson, the coverage on the play by Clarence Love. It is 2nd and 10.
Just watch the end. The official was right on that. There's one, and he dotted the sideline about 4 yards over.
How about that Raider run defense today, the much maligned Raider run defense?
Well, so far so good. I think the Raider defense has played pretty good football, but not smart football. They've jumped off sides. Penalties have hurt them more than Tim Couch and this Browns team have.
2nd down 10, 50-yard line for Couch. Plenty of time again. Outside it goes. Looking for Andre Davis. Flag thrown. Asamoah was covering the rookie from Cal, and he may have been flagged. Look at Butch Davis on the sideline. Personnel moves.
Well, with the football team.
Yes.
I think Carmen.
Offense.
So you get a pass interference like that, folks. The Raiders again ran that zone blitz, and that time they dropped Chris Cooper back into the coverage, and you get offenses. You get a chance for a push off and an offensive pass interference. That's what happened.
6 and that's another. That is the second.
Not much of the rhythm to this game, and I think the execution has been lacking, but that's really the key of the second half is finishing the deal off, getting the turnovers like the Raiders got earlier from William Green. Adjustments like Teo Johnson made on that route that Gannon got to him for the touchdown. That's the story of the second half. Who makes the better adjustments? Is Rich Gannon able to sit back there and pick out his receivers? Is Tim Couch going to get that running game going, which will open up the play action, which will open up the passing game?
Let's take a look at some of the individual leaders now for the Cleveland Browns on the offensive side. Numbers for Tim Couch.
Well, you know, excellent percentages. Yards are a little down, but this defense isn't giving up the big plays. William Green is right on pace, kind of like last week. Remember, 31 carries for those 115 yards, and Jamel White, that tells you something about what the Raiders have done to this nice wide receiver core for the Browns when your nickel receiving back is your leading receiver.
Oakland looking for its second win in 3 games, and the Browns coming into this game have won 2 of their last 3.
If I had to pick one thing for these offenses, it would be get the ball to the wide receiver in the passing game. Both teams have done a very poor job in the first half.
Second half is underway as Phil Dawson loops it to about the 6-yard line for Ronnie Jenkins. Nice hit by White, but he can't bring down Jenkins, and he trips at the 36. Vaults back up and is brought down by Barry Gardner, the ex-Philadelphia Eagle, and a flag is down.
No. Actually, a couple of them.
Yeah, there's one back at the 19.
It was pretty blatant. I think Johnny Greer's got an illegal use of hands, or at least a holding. It's going to be called here.
Holding number 98 of the receiving team during the return. First down.
That's the 14th penalty, 2 of which have been turned down. But Rich Gannon, I mean, what can you complain about 7 out of 8 and the touchdown? The problem is he hasn't had enough of the opportunities. Charlie Garner, average at best from the running game side, and receiving, you've got 2 throws for 19 yards to a tight end, and you've yet to get a ball to Tim Brown, and Jerry Rice.
10-yard line, 1st and 10. Garner in the backfield. 43 defense by the Cleveland Browns. Down outside, caught by Garner, hit by Andre Davis at about the 16-yard line, picks up 7 yards.
Well, you know, another good example. What are we going to do? How are we going to get the ball spread around? Is it going to be equal? Ideally, you'd like it to be equal, but ideally, you don't want zeros for your wide receivers if you're the Oakland Raiders, especially when you have one of the best ever in Tim Brown and the best ever in Jerry Rice, number 80 right there. That streak consists of 3 pretty good careers for most players.
2nd down, 3. 17-yard line of the Raiders. Jolly on the move. Crockett is in the game for the first time. The blitz was on, and down he goes.
And a flag on the field.
Griffith came and douses Gannon back at the 9.
Illegal. It's going to be illegal procedure on the Raiders. It'll be declined. That's the 15th penalty of the game.
Griffith, his first sack of the season.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 80, offense. Still 2nd down.
Remember I said a defensive back, sometimes they'll poach. Defensive backs other times are lurking. Here's Robert Griffith. He is lurking. What are you going to do? How do you lurk? You lurk until nobody blocks you, then you go get yourself a quarterback, and Robert Griffith did it excellently.
4 in the secondary, 2nd down 8, 12-yard line. Here goes Gannon. Sims with the block. Outside looking for Jolly, incomplete, covered by the linebacker Taylor and the cornerback Henry.
Well, you don't hear too many people in Cleveland complaining about Courtney Brown much lately, do you? That young defensive end out of Penn State has really been a difference. Started the game last week with a hit on Tommy Maddox right there, got to Rich Gannon just as he's delivering the ball, had a sack earlier, caused a fumble. This guy is the real deal.
On the defensive line, McKinley, Warren, Lang, and Word. 4 in the secondary, 3rd down and 8 from the 12. Gannon being chased. Got away from Davis and throws out of bounds. Whistling over the head of Tim Brown, covered on the play by Henry. And the Oakland Raiders have got a punt.
Well, in that series, the Cleveland defense had the Oakland Raiders offense and Rich Gannon kind of hyperventilating. You know, when you get a little excited or things start firing down around you, you tend to sort of, your heartbeat goes up and everything happens quicker. And Rich Gannon just hyperventilated and kind of just fired that thing over the head of the receiver.
That's hard for me to believe, though, because he's seen so many situations like that as Leckler's punt is Sunday Northcutt.
Yeah, when it's your head thereafter, though, it's easy to lose it.
Northcutt. Justin Fargas makes the special teams tackle at the 31-yard line. 59-yard punt, 3-yard return. Good job by the rookie, Fargas, out of USC. Well, that's the Raiders' day today here in Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland might be the home of the Rock and Roll Museum, but so far the action in this game has been pure polka. This is like where excitement goes to die.
32-yard line after the Raider punt. Hand off to William Green, who fumbled earlier. Napoleon Harris brings him down about the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play. All right, let's check this internet poll. Who is the NFL's 2003 MVP player so far? Cast your vote at NFL.com.
Yeah, so far? Yeah, so far it's one of those little 3-inch high bowling league trophies you get with a little cup on it on a little plastic pedestal. But we'll give one of those to Dante Hall so far for 5 weeks.
43 defense by the Raiders. 2nd down 4, 38-yard line. Green. Oh, there's a hole. Busting into the secondary and brought down by Gibson into Raider territory at the 46-yard line. 16-yard gain.
Now, you want a little excitement in this game and you're a Cleveland Browns fan? That's excitement. You get William Green going. You get this offensive line going. You get the holes opening up like this. Watch this in the middle. That's execution. That's overrunning by the linebackers of the Oakland Raiders. That's poor execution defensively, but offensively, that's excitement when you get your running back going. 115 last week. It's been 17 years since they had back-to-back 100-yard games here in Cleveland for a running back.
46 of the Raiders, 1st and 10. Green grabbed by Barton and brought down at about the 41-yard line and a gain of 4. Well, this run defensive issue, this lack of run defense by the Raiders, is one of the biggest things staring them in the eyes right now.
Well, you know, it's a one-gap type defense. So if you're a linebacker, you know, if you're Eric Barton and you're Travian Smith and you're Napoleon Harris, you've got to count on the guys up front being in the right gap, and then you've got to get in the right gap. Lot of no gaps there. 190, 222, and 200.
4 in the secondary, 42-yard line of the Raiders. 2nd down and 6, and Couch. He's hit. He spins free. Chased by Coleman. Lobs it to Hayden down the side. Incomplete with the coverage by Terrence Shaw, who was burned last week in Chicago. It'll be 3rd and 6.
Tim Couch deserved a lot better on that play. If you're holding up grading cards, that was a 10 for effort for Tim Couch. Should have been sacked once, should have been sacked twice. And on that play, Hayden, who lines up as fullback, did a great imitation as a tackle eligible. He should have had that one.
So Lawrence, Grant, Coleman, Cooper, and Brayton on the line. 6 defensive backs. Barton is the lone dime linebacker. 3rd and 6 from the Raider 42. Couch. Flag is thrown, pass on the money, caught by Northcutt, close to a 1st down at the 35-yard line of the Raiders. Gain of 7 as it stands. Asumuwa was their cover.
Holding, 66, offense, still 3rd down.
Zakauskas, right guard.
Left the game earlier today with a little leg injury. They came down to the back of his legs, and Zakauskas right there at right guard, number 66. Watch him working. Coleman comes right into his face. Remember I said about motions? And I saw nothing there that even looked remotely like holding.
That's the 3rd holding penalty by the Browns today. 3rd and 16, shoved back to their own 48.
Our officials are going to tear a rotator cuffs throwing flags today.
2 linebackers, 6 defensive backs. Couch. Here comes Grant. There goes Couch. And it's caught 45-yard line with the tackle made by Barton. The catch made by Northcutt. Not enough for a 1st down. They had to get down to the 36-yard line.
You know, we're looking at a close game like this. Low scoring. Now here's the classic position that the offense has moved the ball out of their own territory. Now he's got it into the Raiders' territory at the 45, 44-yard line. Number 1 job for Chris Gardocki here. I mean, he's over 40,000 yards and all that in his career for number of yards. Get the ball, pin the Raiders back inside the 10-yard line if you can directional punt correctly.
They blow it dead in mid-motion, and they had the rush coming on from Ronald Curry.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 51, offense, still 4th down.
Well, the Browns punting here in their first second-half possession. But they've had the 3 holding penalties, 6 overall, a turnover, and
you add that up, was that 10, right? Yeah. Have they had 10 punts yet? They got to be getting close.
1, 2, 4. Counting now.
1, 2, 4. Are you kidding?
Here goes again, setting up the return for Philip Buchanan. Maybe not.
There you go.
What a punt by Gardocki again. 2nd today. Inside the 5.
Now you're playing field position. Now you're looking for the big defensive play and let your defense score some points.
45-yard boot and a timeout. Edgewater Park, all the leaves around the Great Lakes in full color right now with Randy Cross, Kevin Harlan. Rich Gang has done a touchdown pass, but he's marooned here at the 4. 1st and 10 after the Cleveland punt. Crockett in the game. Tyrone Wheatley's first carry today, and Orpheus Roy brings him down. Gain at 4 in the play. Up to about the 8. Tonight on CBS, Catherine Morris stars in TV's most watched new drama.
Once on the 10-yard line, now on the 4-yard line. In that last play you saw with Tyrone Wheatley, they need to play a little bludgeon ball.
2nd down, 6, 8-yard line. Fargus in the game. Gannon with the handoff to the rookie out of USC. A block by Stinchcomb, taking the place of the injured Middleton, and the gain is up to the 16-yard line. The tackle made by Henry. It's a gain of 8, and it is a first down.
A little change of pace. Tyrone Wheatley comes at you with the power, with the sledgehammer. Nice offensive line. Now Justin Fargas gets out there. And Fargas, the rookie out of USC, brings you a whole different package. He's more along the young, fresher version of Charlie Garner. He's got some serious wheels.
Fargas remains. Jolly in the backfield. 16-yard line, 1st and 10. Base 43 defense by the Browns. Gannon, second option. Right through the hands of Jerry Rice, who still remains today without a reception. The coverage by Dalen McCutcheon.
Now we're trying to do it by formation, but it all starts with the protection up front. And we talked about Courtney Brown, one of the #1 picks here for Cleveland. Let's take a look at Gerard Warren working against Brad Badger, lined up at right guard. Tough, physical, quick move. Got a little quick pressure. Moved by the quarterback by Badger. Good young defensive line here in Cleveland.
Nichols secondary, 2nd down and 10, 16-yard line. Garner in the game. Albus Whitted is one of the receivers. And Gannon looking long, looking for Whitted. Almost grabbed, and it was. Caught by Whitted on McCutcheon, 48-yard line. Almost picked off as well by Earl Little. I don't know how he snuck that in, but he shoehorns it in for a gain of 32 yards to Whitted.
Now that was faith.
Wow.
That was Rich Gannon saying, I'm throwing a laser, and I have the faith that you're going to catch it. There's Albus Whitted. No style here, folks. This is just go and get it. Run full speed. I'll throw it on your backside shoulder. You catch it before the safety can come over and knock it down.
Browns back to their base defense of 4-3. Fargas back in the game.
That's the first catch for a wide receiver, Kevin.
Isn't that amazing? 48-yard line for Gannon. 1st and 10. Now he's got Tim Brown, his 2nd wide receiver reception to the 44-yard line. Coverage by Henry, gain of 8.
It's kind of like having, you ever have a shoe that's on too tight?
Got one right now.
Okay, it's on too tight, and you got to loosen the laces a little bit.
Hold on.
And for Rich Gannon, loosening the laces on this Browns defense is getting the wide receivers involved. That loosens the laces and lets you get in the inside, lets you get the middle of the field open. Once that happens, it brings the tight ends and the slant patterns back into the game.
2nd and 2, Cleveland 44. Garner in the backfield, there go the flags. Raiders began with drive.
Ball start, number 70, offense. Still 2nd down.
Brad Badger taking the place of Mo Collins. This drive began back at the 4-yard line. 10 penalties now in Oakland.
Let's take a look at what Cleveland's done. I mean, folks, this is not an aberration. I mean, we were here the opening weekend when Marvin Harrison got all kinds of catches in 9, but couldn't get him for any yards, 44 yards. Last week's, look at Hines Ward and Plexico Burress. 3 catches between them for 74 yards, and that's probably the best combo in the league right now.
2 tight ends, 2nd down, 7. Cleveland's 49 for Gannon. Fargas runs into his own blocker, Badger. Then bounces and accelerates and brought out of bounds by Henry and by Little and a flag.
Was that a nice play by Gerard Warren? Woo. He drove Badger into the backfield, and then the rest of the defense didn't follow up. But we have a holding penalty against the Raiders.
Holding, number 66, offense. Still 2nd down.
That's Langston Walker working at the right tackle position. Look at Warren, fights up the field. Now you need help from this direction and from this direction. Well, they got it from the inside. Where's the help from the outside? Orpheus Roy was the other defensive tackle, was the closest guy to him. Come on, guys, button up. Talk about gap responsibilities and playing team defense. Gerard Warren did his part.
It's a spot foul, so it's 2nd down and 10 from the Raider 48. They got Crockett and Garner in the backfield. And Gannon off to Garner. There goes a flag. Badger trying to throw a block with Rice to the Cleveland 45. Tackle made by Taylor and by Davis, a gain of 7.
You might find it's hard to believe, but I think the Raiders were guilty again.
Wow. How can a veteran team
got tripping against the Raiders.
How can a veteran team be guilty so many times? I mean, this is something that has plagued the team all season.
66, offense.
Walker again.
Still second down.
All right, busy day in the NFL as we send you to New York and Jim Nantz.
All right, thank you very much, Kevin and Randy. And an update on the Packers and the Chiefs to start the second half. Another fine drive put together by Favre and company, and it's Davenport from 18 yards out. 14 unanswered for the Packers to lead 28-14. Let's go back to Kevin and Randy.
Well, how about when Green Bay and Mike Sherman have a lead at halftime over an opponent?
17-0.
17-0.
You think that running game with Ahman Green's got anything to do with that?
Back to the 38, second down and 20.
Flag on the field.
They'll stop it.
False start on the Raiders. Folks, I said in the open of this show, no one's afraid of the Raiders. Here's a great example as to why.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 87, offense. Still second down.
4 Raider penalties on this drive alone. But Randy, in all honesty, Witt doesn't normally start.
Well, it's injuries.
Yeah, they're just so battered. They've got guys that are second-tier guys.
This is the NFL. That's why you're paid to be a backup, because when you get a chance to start, you're supposed to do what the guy that was starting in front of you did. It's not an excuse. It's bad execution and it's bad discipline.
5 in the secondary, second down 25. Gannon moving up and now running against Warren. And then feeding the pass to Jolly, who is brought down by McCutcheon near the 46-yard line of the Raiders. And,
flag.
Yep, right. He may have been over the line. He could have been over the line.
He was past the line of scrimmage.
This would be the 5th penalty on this drive. Raiders did have 17 penalties in a game earlier this year. 17.
Remember this?
Illegal forward pass.
Yeah.
Number 12, offense. That's also a loss of down. 3rd down.
Well, you know, why does a quarterback make a move like that? Even a perfectionist like Rich Gannon, and this lousy execution has got to be killing him. But Gerard Warren, guarding for the draw, laying back, and has the hustle to still get after Gannon, who is clearly over the line.
3rd and 29 from the 29. Wheatley in the game. 6 in the secondary for the Browns. Oh, right through the hands of Wheatley. That caps off what was perhaps the ugliest drive this season in the NFL.
Well, I made the analogy in the beginning of this game that no one's afraid of the Raiders, kind of like Pedro Martinez wasn't afraid of Don Zimmer last night in that baseball game. There's a guy you should be afraid of, and if you don't get the ball to Jerry Rice, you should be embarrassed.
Leckler, number 1 in the NFL, 5th punt coming up. Line drive boot, returnable for Northcutt from the 26. Dennis Northcutt, tripped up by Tim Johnson, and takes it up to the Cleveland 39. 46-yard punt, 11-yard return. Rice without a catch today. It was almost mind-boggling. He's caught that many consecutive passes, and that is equally as mind-boggling for Jerry Rice today.
261.
After the punt, 39-yard line for the Browns. Green is in the backfield, 1st and 10 on that line. Stubblefield, Armstrong, Coleman, and Brayton for the Raiders. It's Green, tackled by Barton, and a gain of about a yard. You look at Rice. Kevin Johnson loves to watch tape of other receivers, including a lot this week of Jerry Rice, saying that among the things that he noticed about Rice is how he makes everything look the same, even if the ball isn't headed his way.
Well, you know, no matter what the route is, too. He drives into his routes and out of his routes, Kevin Johnson was saying, exactly the same, whether he's running a go, whether he's running a slant and out, just driving him back and running a short comeback. It's a lesson every young wide receiver in this league could learn just watching tapes of Jerry Rice.
5 in the secondary for the Raiders, 42-yard line, 2nd down, long 7. Green wrapped up in the middle there by the young rookie Brayton. And a gain to the 44-yard line, 3-yard pickup. You know, this Raiders about being too old. They are the oldest team in the NFL. Is that a factor as you survey this team?
I don't think so. I don't buy it. You know, this team,
You know, they said the same thing last year. They made it to the Super Bowl.
Well, I don't know. Is Tampa suddenly lost everything because they're 2-2? You know, just like the same theory. Indy does not walk on water, and Tampa is not suddenly a bad team off of one game.
Number 44, third down 5. Couch hits Northcutt. Back to first down. Tackled by Woodson. He's to the Raider 38. On the strike by Couch and a 17-yard pickup.
They are not old in Oakland. What they are is the sloppiest, poorest executing football team on both sides of the ball I've seen this year. They're jumping off sides. They're missing tackles. Look at that. You got nothing but arm tackling going on. People aren't in the right positions. You want a cure, go back to details. You get in the bye, go back to fundamentals.
Base 43 defense for the Raiders, 39-yard line. Green on 1st and 10. Nice play by Barton, who's had a good game today. Lost of 2, pushing him back to the 41-yard line.
Now, that's exactly what I'm talking about. If you're supposed to be in a gap and you're supposed to just be there and have your responsibility, look at Barton coming from the backside. There's his gap. Where's he going? Through his gap. What's he do? He makes his tackle and he wraps him up.
He's had 6 tackles today. 41-yard line, 2nd down 12. Johnson is on the move. Couch, and it's caught. Quincy Morgan right in front of Terrence Shaw. 31-yard line of the Raiders. It's a pickup of 10 yards and a couple yards shy of a first down as you take a look at Couch's dad, Elbert Couch.
You imagine Elbert saw young Tim Couch playing varsity basketball in the 7th grade.
That's amazing.
We were talking about, he goes, well, that's nothing. I had a friend who, somebody in my area in Kentucky, started playing varsity football in the 2nd grade.
2nd grade.
Second
It was
grade?
Dennis Johnson of the Arizona Cardinals is who it was.
2nd grade?
3rd down long 2, 31-yard line of the Raiders. Jamel White in the backfield. It's an end around. It goes to Northcutt. Chased by Asamoah out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. Picks up 8 yards. It is a first down to the Oakland 23.
As a defense, your responsibility on the backside as an end or a linebacker is counter coming back the other way. You can't crash, you can't overcommit, and you can't get too far down with nobody pursuing behind you. You see where there was nobody up on the upper side. Once the defensive end, 91 Tyler Brayton, forced the guard, there was nobody to scrape along the outside.
Good looking drive. 1st and 10. Green breaking a tackle of Grant, run out of bounds by Charles Woodson. Raider 19-yard line, pick up a 4, 2nd down.
Now, you want the best solution for a quarterback, get this running game going. You know, Tim Couch has taken a lot of grief in this city and hasn't had the running game to help him out. Last week, William Green, 115 yards so far today, 79. And I mentioned it's been since Kevin Mack in 1986 in November of that year. Since a Browns back has had back-to-back 100-yard rushing games. He's on his way.
43 defense. 2nd down 6. Nice fake by Couch. Everybody chasing, including Grant. He throws it away. Wisely so. DeLawrence Grant had a beat. Tim Couch, the former All-America high school basketball player, in addition to being a great high school football player. In fact, he wanted to play for Rick Pitino at Kentucky.
And that was a great example, too, of growth and maturity as a football player. You know, something that Pitino looks for in his basketball players. A pass like that, sometimes you got to make Mabel spill her popcorn. You know, when Mabel's sitting there in the front row, you just take that ball and you drill it right into her lap, and the defense can't get at it.
6 defensive backs, 3rd and 6 for the Browns. 19-yard line of the Raiders. Couch, right on the money. Bobbled, it's loose and incomplete. They're looking for Morgan, who collides with Hall of Famer to be Rod Woodson. First time we've called Rod Woodson today, who drills Morgan and now forces a 3-point try. So the Raider defense does their job.
Ball, receiver, and Woodson arrive at the same time. There's the ball, there's the receiver, and there's Rod Woodson. And for you young players out there, watch the contact. See the shoulder? That wasn't the head. He wasn't launching himself into the face of Quincy Morgan. It was a shoulder hit and delivered perfectly, much like Ronnie Lott did for years.
It's a fake, and they pitch out to Dawson, who's got the first down. First out of bounds. The holder is Gardocki. And Phil Dawson, 5 years out of Texas, just ran 14 yards. And he's given the Cleveland Browns first and goal.
Remember what I said about counter and reverse responsibility? That's exactly the same thing. Gardocki and Dawson take advantage of an undisciplined Raiders field goal block team that crashes to one side. That's game tape study.
His last rush, Randy, was a touchdown run against Cincinnati back in '99.
Let's give the credit there to Jerry Rosberg, the special teams coordinator for the Browns. He saw that on tape.
It's first and goal at the 5 after the fake. Green, touchdown.
Well, you've got one team making enough mistakes to lose a football game, and Bill Callahan's Raiders, and Butch Davis's Cleveland Browns team is willing to take the chances, is willing to execute correctly, isn't making the mistakes, and they've got a young running back in William Green that is running his tail off.
That is only the second rushing touchdown by the Browns this season, but a first by a Cleveland running back, and on a bad snap, Gardocki fields it, puts it up, and Dawson puts it through. Cleveland has their first lead today. Green with his first touchdown run of the season. It's the Browns by 3. Setting up a first and goal for Green, who rams it in from 5 yards away, and the Browns have their first lead of the game over the Oakland Raiders. And now Dawson's ensuing kickoff. Ronnie Jenkins at about the 1. Crushed. Barry Gardner and Michael Jameson. 24-yard return. The Raiders have lost their second half lead in as many weeks. Just couldn't hold on to a second half lead last week in Chicago, nor today in Cleveland.
It goes back to the mistakes, the lack of execution, and the lack of rhythm we talked about at the very beginning of the game.
After the Green touchdown run, 25-yard line, first and 10. Gardner in the backfield outside the Jolly, and he's drilled by Ben Taylor. It's a 2-yard gain up to the 27. That will take us to the end of the third quarter. Gannon has thrown a touchdown pass. Green has a touchdown run. And a Dawson 52-yard field goal puts the Browns on top of the Raiders 10-7 at the end of 3 as your... We begin the fourth quarter, second down 8, 27-yard line for the Raiders. And it's Justin Fargas crashing his way into Griffith as he crosses the 35 to the 37, has a first down gallop of 10 yards and a first down. Raiders have not won on the road this season. Cleveland has not won a home game this year. Gannon threw a touchdown pass to Teo Johnson to begin things after a Cleveland fumble. Browns came back with the 52-yard field goal. And moments ago on a fake field goal, a couple plays after that, Green pounds it in from 5 yards away to give Cleveland the lead. Jerry Rice has yet to catch a pass today. First and 10, Tyrone Wheatley gallops ahead and close to a first down, tackled in the secondary by linebacker Ben Taylor. Gain of about 10.
Well, the very thing that seemed to really invigorate this Cleveland Browns offense was running the ball. And now the first 2 times that Oakland gets a chance to run a play against Butch Davis' defense in this series, what do? They just run the ball right at the defense. No penalties, no malarkey, no baloney. Just go right at them, make it physical, make it personal, and take a lot of the gimmick stuff and a lot of the execution they're not doing right out of the equation.
Raiders have not started 0-4 on the road since 1962. That goes back a long way.
Is that when they were playing like at Frank Ewell Field?
Yeah, you're going back to the early days of this organization. Have teams caught up with the Raiders? You take a look at Mark Trestman, the offensive coordinator. Jerry Rice has said a couple different times this season, it's like the defense on the other side of the ball knows exactly what we're going to do.
I think they're limited. That's why the defense knows what they're going to do. They haven't had Jerry Porter. They haven't had a healthy Charlie Garner all the time. They haven't had good execution. They've been undisciplined. It's easy to be predictable when you're not doing what you usually do and not execute.
Second down, short one, 47-yard line. Base 43 defense for the Cleveland Browns. Teo Johnson in motion. Hand off Crockett. He bulldozes his way for a first down to the 49-yard line. Tackled by Kennard Lang, gain of 3.
You know, Zach Crockett does have to have one of the great jobs in the NFL. What do you do? Well, I play a little special teams, and I lead block every once in a while. But what I basically do is, you know, when it's third and a foot or they're down about the half-yard line by the goal line, I score touchdowns to get first downs.
That was his 7th carry of the year, and he's got 2 TDs. It's pretty something. First and 10. Crockett remains. Fargas in the backfield, 49-yard line, 43 defense for the Browns. Fargas, Crockett block. Finds a little hole, and Orpheus Roy comes over from his defensive line and makes the stop. It's a gain of 3 at the 49-yard line of the Cleveland Browns. Tuesday on CBS for 2 sailors, and online war game becomes real. One turns up dead. Mark Harmon stars in an all-new Navy NCIS, Tuesday 8/7 Central on CBS.
See, part of having that rhythm and execution I'm talking about out of this Raiders offense is we haven't seen penalty flags. We've seen very crisp running the ball. It's been 4 runs and 1 pass so far. They're trying to get into a rhythm.
Second and 7. Little shovel pass caught by Teo Johnson. Read well by the Browns. Warren came there late and tore the ball away from the rookie, but Andre Davis and Courtney Brown stop him after a gain of 2.
I like that. You were talking about lining them up in different spots, and Teo Johnson, obviously, along with Rich Gannon, thought there was a little face mask penalty coming on that inside play. But I like the play calling.
Think of all the injuries.
It's hard not to.
Randy on that offensive line. Kennedy not playing today. Collins not playing today. Middleton knocked out earlier today.
Well, you know, you can look at it as an excuse or you can look at it as an opportunity. Brad Badger's been a journeyman. He's getting his shot. Langston Walker has potential. Now you show you're more than just potential. Same with Matt Stinchcomb. You're playing some guard. Now's a chance to show what you got.
Nickel secondary, 3rd and 5. Raiders have not converted on the last 5 third downs. Gannon empties the backfield. Under the side, caught by Garner, shy of a first down. Covered on the play by Lewis Sanders. He had to get to the 41. He is just inside the 42. And shy by half the length of a football. 4th down and just that short. If you're the Raiders, you got to go for it.
I think you go for it absolutely in this situation.
Crockett comes in. That's that guy.
You got Mr. First Down.
They're bringing a couple tight ends. And Wheatley will come and join Crockett.
Now the easy thing is to give it to Wheatley behind a Crockett lead blocker, to give it to Crockett with a quick little blast. Don't be surprised with a quarterback like Gannon. They don't throw the ball here.
Brown, Warren, McKinley, and Word on the defensive line. 4th and inches. Pitch out to Wheatley. Blocked by Crockett. Cuts inside. Slips through Davis. Has the first down. Taylor makes the stop at the 40 on a gain of 2. Oakland gets a first down. Much needed for Coach Bill Callahan. Let's go to New York and Jim Nance.
All right, thank you, Kevin and Randy. Miami and Jacksonville, and the Jags are hanging in there. The rookie quarterback Byron Leftwich tucks it under, his first NFL rushing touchdown. It's tied 10-10. Just seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Back to you.
Leftwich had over 330 yards passing last week over San Diego, most by a rookie quarterback since Peyton Manning. Doing it on the ground today. 9th play of the drive, 1st and 10.
Remember the last time Miami went to Jacksonville in that playoff game?
Yes. Dan Marino's last game and Jimmy Johnson's last game.
62-7, I think it was.
Brutal. Gain on the play of about 4. Fargas inside the 36-yard line.
I like this young running back. I mean, there's no play to what this guy does. He just sort of gets it and goes, and already he's got 33 yards rushing.
Base 43 defense for the Browns. Fargas in the backfield. 2nd down, 6, Cleveland 36-yard line. Alvis Whitted is the 3rd wide receiver, and that's Brown on the move and jumping his Jolly. Another Raider penalty.
And you were right there on the
snap. Ball start. Number 88, offense. Still 2nd down.
You know, Kevin, you were right there on the edge of Sebastian Janikowski field goal range. There's Jolly lining up the left tight end. That's Knucklehead move number 27, I think, for these two football teams.
15 Raider penalties.
Well, that's... And there's Janikowski. I mean, he's got a strong leg. Remember, he'll be with the wind, so it expands where he can get it from. But right now is not field goal territory.
41-yard line, 2nd down, 11. Fargus in the backfield offering a block for Gannon. Here they come. Flag is thrown outside for Fargus. And tackled on the play by the 32-year-old cornerback, Robert Griffith. Think about the 35. Another flag against the Raiders.
Now, that was holding against the Raiders' offensive line. There was a very, very lonely receiver out there down the field by the name of Jerry Rice.
Illegal hands to the face. Number 74, offense. Still 2nd down.
Rice, that was the 16th penalty, 10th on the offense.
That was on Matt Stinchcomb, but remember, you've got a quarterback scrambling, but the defender falls down on the ground. Anthony Henry just... Lewis Sanders falls down, slips, and when you get a streak like that, you can't belabor the point that Jerry Rice, after 261 games, has not caught a ball. That's a very, very big part of this offense from a psychological standpoint.
5 defensive backs, 2nd down, 21 from the 49. Fargus in the backfield. Langston Walker with the block, and outside they go. Caught by Jerry Rice, and he caught it at the 41-yard line, and the streak is alive. 262 consecutive games for the Hall of Famer to be with a catch, and it's a gain of 10.
Well, it's almost like it's shut these guys up on TV and throw them a ball, will you? They just sort of ran him out there, stopped him. Rich Gannon turned around and chunked it over there.
What a nice catch.
Well, that's what Jerry does. And what Jerry also does is he can lull you to sleep on those little ones and make you pay down the field with a big one.
He'll be 41 tomorrow. No one has ever played that kind of position at that age in the history of the NFL. 3rd down and 11.
How about in professional sports? How often does that happen after 40?
It's incredible. Garner in the backfield. Here goes Gannon outside looking for Rice. Bangs his way into McCutcheon, who breaks it up. Incomplete pass. That was some great coverage by Dalen McCutcheon. They need about 5 or 6 yards for a field goal now. With about 59 yards.
Oh, no, it's not going to happen
Right.
now. Remember, simultaneous arrival earlier was Rod Woodson, and there was a simultaneous arrival between the ball and Dalen McCutcheon, breaking that one up. And this is Shane Lechler territory here. Sebastian Janikowski would have to kick approximately let's say 59-yard field goal from here. With this bad footing in this football field, even with the wind, it's not...
Janikowski's won both games for him this season. Northcutt will call for a fair catch, and that's what he's allotted at about the 6 or 7 yard line. Nice punt by Lechler, 34-yard boot. Raiders have lost another 2nd half lead. Green a touchdown run for Cleveland, 52-yard field goal by Dawson, 10-7. After the Lechler punt at the 6, Couch, 1st down and 10. William Green got by Stubblefield in the secondary. Hit by Harris, brought down 19-yard line, and has a 1st down and a run of 14 yards right up the middle. What about that Raider drive we just saw?
What, you mean 11 plays for 34 yards in about 7.5 minutes?
Wow.
And got nothing out of it. And right there, the defense does a terrible job of supporting. I mean, that is what I was just talking about a little while ago. You're in your gap, you make your tackle. Look at the over pursuit. Napoleon Harris right there, 58, the middle linebacker. Over pursues to the left. Ball cuts back inside of on the backside A-gap.
43 defense by Oakland. 1st down and 10. Flag is thrown. There goes Green. Held from behind and brought down by Gibson at the 40. 20-yard run by Green. And this is something we have seen teams do.
Just called holding, I think, on the Raiders.
This is something we have seen opposing teams do to the Raiders this season. Carve them up on the ground.
Holding. Number 75, defense.
Wow.
The penalty would be assessed from the end of the run.
From the end of the run, which was a 20-yard run to begin with.
Well, they carve him up because of bad pursuit, because of bad discipline, and just basically, here's Cooper right here. See him grabbing the center feign? That's defensive holding. This year, the league put a big emphasis on defensive tackles, specifically holding on offensive linemen, and Green is now at 118 yards. Back-to-back 100-yard games.
Oh, gosh. Cooper's off sides again.
Cooper's outgained the offense in penalties. Took the offense 11 plays to make 34 yards. It's taken Cooper 2 plays to give up about 34 yards.
Encroachment, 75. Defense, still first down.
Well,
18 penalties, a season high on the Raiders.
he's wearing Howie Long's number and Howie Long's helmet, and
Much to the chagrin of Howie Long.
the similarity ends there.
Is this a Super Bowl hangover for this team?
No,
What is
no.
the problem?
It's part of it's the injuries. A lot of it, though, is discipline and attention to detail.
So it's 1st and 5 at the 50. Raiders have that base defense still in, hiding in the backfield with Green. And a stop there by Napoleon Harris to the 45, close to a first down. Jim Nance, we go to you in New York.
All right, Tennessee has pulled away from the Texans. A thrilling little sequence here just moments ago. It's Mason who's having a huge day. His 3rd touchdown of the day. Right back, Carr is picked by Andre Dyson, who returns that interception for a touchdown as well. 38-10. We send it back to you.
Titans, Jim, are about ready to go 3-0 at home. 8th consecutive win. 14th home win for the Titans in their last 17 games. Not bad. 1st and 10. 44-yard line. Green. Breaking through again. Brought down by the rookie, Great. It's a gain of 10. It's down to the Raider 33. Coming next, NFL doubleheader action continues when Hines Ward and the Steelers take on Clinton Portis and the Broncos. While the Bills battle the Jets or the Ravens take on the Cardinals. Check local listings for the games in your area.
How about the job so far by this offensive line on this last drive? Led by a rookie there, Jeff Fayen at center, number 50. They are doing a nice job of carving up this front 7 of the Oakland Raiders.
1st and 10, Oakland 34. Green hiding with the block. Corkscrew move. Brought down in the secondary by Dorsett at the 28-yard line, and it's a gain of 6.
But, you know, Kevin, for everything that negative has happened for the Oakland Raiders, they are still 1 turnover.
Right.
Still 1 big play away from being in the lead of this football game. So if you're William Green or you're any running back that's now into the game for the Cleveland Browns, you're Tim Couch, you're guarding that football.
Green is off there at a terrific drive of 56 yards and 5 carries. Coming into today, the last 3 games, the Raider defense had allowed over 200 yards per game on the ground. Now they got James Jackson in the backfield. 2nd down and 4. Jackson with the rear carry. Hit by Dorsett. Close to a first down. A gain of a couple on the play to the 24-yard line of Oakland.
Well, when you see a highlight package of a running back, how many times is William Green hit here head on? Isn't it constantly from the side? The blows are coming at his legs. They're coming at his ribs. Very few are coming into the middle of the chest on this running back. That credit goes to 2 places. 1, the defense is getting in bad positions, and 2, that offensive line is doing a wonderful job of drive blocking. 140 yards. So 115 last week, 140 this week, and he becomes the first running back since Kevin Mack did it on November 30th, 1986.
Wow.
Was the last time a Cleveland back had back-to-back 100-yard rushing games.
Short of a first down is Cleveland. Timeouts remaining, 3 apiece, Raiders and Browns. A big fake field goal by Phil Dawson set up a 1st and goal at the 5. William Green punched it in to take the lead in the game. 2nd consecutive week the Raiders have relinquished a second-half lead. 3rd and inches.
You're heading down towards the dog pound. It's time to keep the dogs loose. Your big dogs up front.
Jackson in the backfield. Hayden is the up back, and the 6'5" Couch easily slides into the grasp of Traven Smith, and they got a first down. That's the 7th consecutive run on this Cleveland drive, and his dad, who used to coach him, loves it. 5.5 minutes off the clock, too. The Browns have done it every way.
I'm reminded with Tim Couch, kind of that old story about George Halas. He's complaining at the official. The official throws the flag at him. He says, "You stink." Marks the field down 15 yards, turns around, looks at Halas, and goes, "How do I smell from here?" Tim Couch leading this team's got to ask the fans here, how do I smell from here?
First and 10. William Green hit. Dorsett can't bring him down. And Green in his second year out of Boston College has been terrific. He picks up 4 yards right there. Tim Couch has not won a home game in his last 4 starts, but he has put now another good performance back to back to back. Last week in Pittsburgh was sensational.
And William Green has been the key.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to tackle William Green trying to paw him and trying to claw him. You better hit him.
Timeout taken by the Raiders. At the downtown Cleveland after that Oakland timeout. It is 2nd down 6 at the Oakland 19. Green in the backfield. And the handoff. Hit by Napoleon Harris. Another timeout taken by the Raiders. 1 remaining. Trailing by 3. Big play coming up for the Browns. 3rd long 5. Raiders will have 6 in the secondary, and the Browns bring in Jamel White.
You need a touchdown on this drive. A field goal sets you up at 13-7 for a dramatic finish, and you don't want to challenge the Raiders to beat you 14-13.
18-yard line of Oakland. Watch Northcutt. He's got 3 on 3rd down today. And there's a shovel pass to Northcutt, and he's got a lane chased by Ron Woodson. Turns the corner, dives out of bounds, but looks to be shy of the 1st down. Getting as far as the 14 when he needed to get near the 12-yard line.
And the ball's being spotted where Northcutt threw the ball forward. You can't try to throw the ball forward. Watch what happens at the end of this run. Watch what he's doing. He's reaching, and then he kind of throws it towards the 1st down marker, and the ball was marked exactly where the ball was released by Northcutt on that sideline. It was an excellent spot by our officials.
Now the Cleveland Browns will try to build upon their lead. Here is Dawson with a 32-yard try. Gardocki the hold. They faked it last time. Now they tack on 3 more with 2:29 to play. Now the Cleveland Browns have their biggest lead today, 13-7 over the defending AFC champs. 13-7 on this field goal by Phil Dawson.
Look how close
yards.
this is. Scott Green, the back judge, calls it good. It was right on the upright.
Ball falls off the tee. Al Davis is in the building watching the 74-year-old man who runs this Oakland franchise. A big fan of Butch Davis, the coach of the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, and he's one of the great minds in the history of this game. And how many times has he seen his team steal a game that it probably should lose?
Here's the kickoff. Jenkins at about the 3. Ball been brought down by Thompson in the special teams of the Cleveland Browns. 19-yard return. They'll mark him at the 21. Tonight on CBS.
We've talked about the injuries. We've talked about the groups and the different groupings. If I'm Rich Gannon, I want a spread offense. I want to start smiling and dialing, and I've got my chance to win a ball game.
5 in the secondary, 23-yard line with the timeout. Gannon on 1st and 10. It's dropped. Jolly drops another one. Drilled by Griffith. Incomplete pass. 2nd down 10.
Well, I'm not sure if you'd call this a pure drop, though, Kevin. Robert Griffith, he knows there's a hammer coming, and the hammer is wearing number 24. Jolly is just being human. The ball was thrown a little bit behind him.
Runner in the backfield. Alvis Whitted is the 3rd receiver. 23-yard line, 2nd down and 10. Again with that makeshift offensive line, giving him time, throws it over the head of Jolly on the side, and Tim Brown was in the vicinity too. Regardless, incomplete, 3rd and 10.
This Oakland Raider football team, though, Kevin, is kind of like that old vampire from those old like Bela Lugosi movies, and when that stake's in their heart, you got to be sure they shrivel up and go away, because if you take that stake out, this team will come back and get you.
Nickel secondary for the Browns. 3rd down and 10 from the Raider 23.
number 65, offense. For third down.
That is 19 penalties on the Raiders today.
Now, of course, in those old vampire movies, the vampire didn't pull another steak out of his pocket and go, here, let me hammer this other one in my heart. Maybe that first one didn't get me. And the Raiders have done a lot of things self-inflicted. No better example than right there.
Of those 19 penalties, 10 have been on the Oakland Raider offense. 5 defensive backs remain. 3 receivers for Gannon. Garner in the backfield. He's got a timeout. It's 3rd and 15. Back at the 18. Jolly in motion. Runner outside with the catch from Gannon. Chased by Crocker. Knocked out of bounds. Close to a first down and probably shy by a yard at the 32.
This is going to be real close from the mark if you put it where his foot is.
Gain of 14 when they needed 15, so it'll be 4th and 1. And they've got no choice. Fourth and a yard.
If I had we got a timeout coming up here by Cleveland. They want to be sure they've got the right personnel on the field.
Browns take a timeout. They've got 2 remaining. A Tyrone Wheatley run. Wheatley is not in the game right now.
This isn't do or die for Bill Callahan's football team with a 2-minute warning coming up and a timeout left, but this is definitely do or desperate.
Challenge flag has been thrown on the field. And this is not done by upstairs because we're not inside 2 minutes. You've got 2 timeouts. I think it's a pretty good time to use a challenge if what he's asking for is got some merit to it. Butch Davis, by the way, is #1 in the NFL among all 32 coaches in his percentage of success in challenges.
Now, where's the ball spotted?
It's an obscure statistic, but there it is nonetheless.
I'll tell you, he's out of bounds at about, it would appear, you know, around the 31-yard line. And the ball was spotted on about the 32.5.
So it is the spot. I believe I just heard Johnny Greer say they're going to look at.
And you know, why not? They're not exactly going to use their timeouts.
Yeah, exactly. They have challenged the spot, and let's go down to Johnny Greer once again, who gives us a timeout. We're just before the 2-minute warning. The Raiders trail 13-7. They face 4th and inches, but on the previous 3rd down play, they have him marked at the 32, but you can see here it looks like he steps out of bounds at the 31, and that's what the Cleveland challenge is all about right now.
Now that's from that angle, and Johnny Greer will see that angle. Now look at it from this angle. It's the right foot right there. Is his toe out of bounds in this area? From both angles, I think the ball was right on the line, or his foot was right on the line.
Well, let's see. It wouldn't surprise me if the call was upheld.
Well, remember the definitive evidence. You have to have something that just indisputably tells you that the call has to be changed.
Well, you've got the most seasoned and most experienced referee in the NFL handling this
After
question.
reviewing the play stance is called on the field. Cleveland is charged with their 2nd timeout. 4th down.
See, I like that, though, because Butch Davis didn't need the timeout.
Could have challenged earlier, not taking the time.
Yeah, but look what he's done to the Raiders offense. There was a little bit of momentum. There was a little bit of rhythm in what they had going. Now they've stood around, and they've got a critical 4th and about a half a yard, and they're cold.
32-yard line, huge play, 4th down, inches Gannon. Play action, pocket crumbles. Got it off to Garner, who's got the first down, twirling at the 35. And tackled on the play by Ben Taylor, a pickup of 3 yards. And the Raiders are still alive. 2-minute warning.
Pittsburgh.
Good paper.
Best paper.
Pittsburgh paper.
Perfect. Pursue the potential Pittsburgh property pronto. Let's eat.
The Home Depot is more than a store. This weekend, it's finishing the project you've been wanting to start. Right now at the Home Depot and Expo Design Center, make no payments and get no interest for 12 months on any purchase store-wide of $299 or more. Just use your Home Depot or Expo consumer credit card. You don't even need a coupon. Get that project done this long weekend, starting at the Home Depot. You can do it. We can help.
Hey, Tim. Thanks for being the designated driver.
You mind giving my uncle a ride home, too?
No problem.
Great.
How you doing?
Why, thank you for asking. I'm doing fine. The people in that bar sure were friendly. And boy, that popcorn was good, too. Not a single kernel went unpopped. Let me ask y'all a question. Have y'all ever had popcorn with cheese on it? Delicious.
Hey, let's do this again real soon. I'm free next Friday.
Monday, two married guys take a test to prove who's sexier.
When it comes to actually picking up women, I'm always going to do better than you.
Okay, you keep telling her.
Who will win the Battle of the Hunks?
Greg happens to be very appealing to women.
Stop laughing!
Catch an all-new Yes Dear, CBS Monday.
Raiders just converted 4th and 1. They got.
So this is the circumstance where the Raiders really missed Jerry Porter. Because Jerry Porter's speed would stretch the field, open up the crossing routes underneath, open up the seam routes in the middle. The lack of speed here means the defense plays everything within 15, 20 yards of the ball.
Base defense, 1st and 10. Garner in the backfield. Batted down by Courtney Brown. And ricochets and pinballs around a little bit. Incomplete, 2nd down and 10.
Alvin McKinley, number 97, after Courtney Brown here. Watch him, but then watch Alvin McKinley, number 97, when the ball ricochets off. Courtney Brown, look at McKinley, trying to pick it off the back of Barrett Robbins.
Rated is the 3rd wide receiver. Garner in the backfield. Base 43 defense for the Browns. 35-yard line, 2nd and 10. Gannon fires a pass caught by Rice, close to a 1st down. Covered on the play across the way of Lehan, who is defensive back. They had snuck in a nickel back.
It's about a foot short of a 1st down, Kevin. 3rd down.
3rd and 1. Gannon caught by Jolly. 1st down, tackle by Taylor and Davis at the Cleveland 47-yard line. Timeout remaining for Gannon. 1 timeout remaining for Cleveland.
No need to hurry for Rich Gannon and this crew. They will take their time. Now's the execution period.
Gannon outside, caught by Alvis Riddick. All the way to, on that 1st and 10 play, to the Cleveland 39. 5 defensive backs in for the Browns.
Now's when you need a pass rush if you're Cleveland.
39-yard line for Gannon. Swings it outside. Brown caught it. He was inbounds. The catch at the 33 stops the clock with a 6-yard pickup right there. And a 1st down.
And the Raiders, so now the Raiders are able to huddle. Watch the feet.
Ooh.
I don't know about that. If I'm Butch Davis, or if I'm upstairs, remember that. It's not up to Butch Davis. It's upstairs. I don't think he had both feet in. Doesn't have possession.
33-yard line. It is 1st and 10. Nickel secondary for the Cleveland Browns. Garner in the backfield for Gannon. Down the side looking for Brown. Incomplete, covered by Lehan. Michael Lehan, who is a rookie out of Minnesota, covering one of the most experienced receivers in the history of the NFL, and Tim Brown.
Rich Gannon, this is the kind of pass this year has just gone a little bit past the receiver's fingertips. It's been one of those years so far for the 2002 MVP. For Bill Callahan and his football team, it'd be a great time for Gannon and this offense to snap out of it.
5 in the secondary, 2 linebackers, 4 in the line. Lang, Roy, McKinley, and Courtney Brown. 2nd down and 10. Gannon down the middle, caught by Garner. Grabbed by Ben Taylor, swirls his way down to the 24-yard line. A pickup of 9 on the play. Shy of a 1st down by about a yard. 3rd and 1. Timeout remaining Oakland 1, Cleveland 1.
This is not a spike the ball situation. He's got to run a play.
Again and again. Goes to his first option, and McCutchen knocks it away as it was intended for Alvis Riddick.
Okay, now it's 4th down, Kevin.
Right, 4th down and a yard. Cleveland's 24. This is the 3rd time that Gannon and the offense have faced 4th and 1. They have converted the previous 2 4th and 1 plays. 13th play of the drive. They began back at their 23. Garner in the backfield. Gannon fires, and Rice with the catch. No, they say he caught it, but out of bounds. He caught it, but he was out of bounds. His knee had touched. Out of bounds is the ruling across the way.
Remember, the review that comes would have to come from upstairs. Let's see.
Watch his knee.
Remember the ball, the feet, and what touches first. The knee touches inbounds, Kevin.
A knee equals 2 feet.
The knee touches inbounds. Does he have possession?
Ooh, that's right on the line.
Knee
that is
down.
Right on the line.
One more time. Knee. I think he's in with that knee.
We're going to stop the game right now, and Johnny Greer will talk to us.
Has it. Knee.
We will review the last play from the field.
Can you believe this? Another close game for the Cleveland Browns. They've just been so numerous in the career of Butch Davis.
22 of the games have been decided the last minute of the game or right near the last play. And I tell you right there, I don't think it's on the line.
I think it might be on the chalk.
No. I think that is
the sun is casting such a weird angle.
A weird angle?
It's
just a strange shadow, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't think you can tell.
This is the one. Remember, one knee is the same as 2 feet.
Yeah, that right there is a clear angle. In fact, you can see the indentation.
He is right there on that yard marker.
One more time, you can see the indentation, and see if you can circle it, Randy, when he comes.
See right.
Okay, now let it roll.
There, at the end of the line. Watch it and roll it. Look at there.
Watch the indentation in the ground.
See, he's hit.
I can see it right there.
Well, I think it's a catch. I know what you mean, Kevin.
Let's see if we can circle on it one more time on that previous replay. You can see the mark, the divot in the turf.
It's just inside the line, though. I disagree. I think Johnny Greer will look at this.
And
see the shadow right there where the knee is.
There, it's there. I see it. And it's on the green and off the chalk. That was a 4th down play and a yard as they're moving downfield. Rice catches the ball.
Well, remember who it is, too. It's Jerry Rice.
Right.
If Jerry Rice says, I caught it, you have a real tough time, even if you're Butch Davis, saying, no, you didn't.
You can clearly see the divot or the indentation.
Inbounds.
Yeah, inbounds, exactly.
Correct.
On the grass, not on the chalk.
Okay, watch his knee. Just concentrate on the right knee. Down. Now it comes up. Right in the grass. Right about there.
I can see the divot.
After reviewing the play stance is called on the field. We have an incomplete pass. First down.
One more time, Jerry Rice. He has it. It has been ruled that knee was down out of bounds by the side judge. And Johnny Greer decides he's seen nothing to make him change it. And the Raiders will lose this game, and Tim Couch and the Browns have a home win.
Tim Couch will win his first game in 5 as a home starter. Raiders will lose it 13-7, and the Oakland Raiders have their first 0-4 start on the road since 1962. Browns have won 3 of their last 4. 19 penalties did end the Raiders today. Jim, a wild one here in Cleveland. The Raiders fall.
And welcome to the NFL.